Alright guys, welcome back. My name's Sandy. This is Sawing with Sandy, and just a moment ago you saw me fly out here for probably one of the last times on my Yamaha golf cart. That thing runs mint. What I'm doing today is I'm out here with my sawmill at the Hillbilly Hideout, and I'm trying to get some battens cut for that equipment shed. You guys would have seen me build and almost finish most recently. What I've got up on the log deck there is 4 logs ready to go. I'm going to get those logs cut into battens for that equipment shed so I can finish off that siding. I did a bit of a count and I need 111 battens. Keep in mind the building's not all that big, but the boards are quite small. So 111 battens. I'm going to make the battens 3/4 of an inch thick by about 2 inches wide. And I don't even know what these log lengths are, but whatever those lengths are. I'm going to make those here today on my 2017 HM130, the old Woodland Mills there. And one more thing I'm going to show you, just as we're about to get fired up here. I've been very fortunate recently to have an opportunity to get my hands on a new laser. And what I'm talking about is this thing down here. Now this thing is not a new setup for me. I've been using it off and on for the last several months. If you guys wanted to see me install this in the original video, be sure to check out the playlist. But I've been able to get my hands on a new laser, and all I'm talking about is this guy right here. I got my hands on a new laser not because the old one broke. In fact, the old one still works fine. I got my hands on a new laser because this one is rated to work at colder temperatures. Many of you guys have mentioned the fact that it gets cold where I live and probably where you live, sort of like it is today, and the lasers may not work in those cold temperatures. Well, this one does. This one right here, as we'll fire up here, this one creates a nice 120-degree line, I think it is, a nice green line there for sawing. And this thing works, I believe, down to -10 Celsius. Let me just get out the packaging here and you guys can read the specs for yourself there. All right, so what's that say there? -10 Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. That's the operating temperature. Now I'm going to try this thing well below 10 degrees Celsius. Not today, of course, but on other episodes, just to see how well it really works. What I'm going to do today is put it through its paces. I've got some logs to cut, as I mentioned. I'm going to fire it back up just like the other laser. I'm going to use it to help me cutting the bark off the 4 sides of the log. Really going to speed things up because I won't need my tape measure. Anyways, just a few more specs on this laser. Big long model number there. So it's a laser module. This is a 30 microwatt. 3 to 5 volt DC direct current, -10 to 40 degrees Celsius. So that's more or less the specs on that. As I mentioned, I got this from apenex.com. You can see on the bottom of the packaging there. I'm going to put this into action here today because I find, based on my other laser, it really speeds up the process and makes things really nice. So having a chance to use one in colder temperatures, I think will be great. So that's what we're doing here today. Glad you guys are all here. Let's get down to work. First pull, gotta love that. Well, guys, I don't know if it's bad luck having sludge out at the sawmill or not, but I had a little drink there a second ago. I turned the camera off and bam, the blade broke on me. And this has happened before. It's not my first go around with this. Sometimes it's unpredictable. I had no idea it was about to break. I can tell you this blade is pretty old. I've sharpened it a number of times. Over time, you know, it might get brittle and break. I don't know. We're going to have a look and see if it broke at the weld, though. I always look to see. Let's try to get it out of here safely. Don't want it to fling back and hit me, obviously. Sometimes it gets wedged in there, which you guys can see and you might have experienced before. Oh yeah, she's wedged in. Okay. See what we're dealing with here. No, that's a get out of there. That's probably just fatigue right there. You guys can have a look. You can see how it broke. Didn't even break cleanly. Yeah, there's no sign of a weld there. Well, that's just about it for this blade. Now, I know some of you guys weld them back together. I've been meaning to try it, but all I have is an arc welder. Stick welder, as some of you guys will call it, and so I don't know if my skill set is up to the challenge or not. Doing that, let's have a look here. You guys can see what the weld looks like. See it right there? So everything's good there. Definitely the blade was half decent still. I sharpened it not all that long ago, but as I mentioned, it's been sharpened a number of times. So I guess that's the end of that. The unfortunate part is I don't have a sharp blade here. I'd probably have to head on back to the shop and try to scrounge one up. The truth of the matter is I get going sometimes and I forget to have a sharp one handy here. I do have an extra though, but this extra one, if you guys have been around the channel before, you may recognize this blade because this one took out some screws not all that long ago. And unfortunately it knocked some teeth off. And I'll show you just how many teeth it knocked off. There we go. Look at that thing. You guys want to count them with me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teeth in a row are gone. Now the rest of the blade is half decent. To be honest, it's actually relatively sharp still. But those 8 teeth, well, they're non-existent. Regardless, this blade is junk. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to see, can I cut still with 8 teeth? Now the rest are sharp, so maybe those sharp teeth will make up for the 8 missing teeth. I don't think so, but hey, we'll give it a try anyways. What do I got to lose? Another blade? All right, guys, any predictions? Missing 8 teeth. Rest of the blade's relatively sharp. Any predictions? Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen either, but here we go. luck. Ran out. Let's go see what's going on here. It was actually cutting pretty good, otherwise I wouldn't have done it. I'm thinking it might have just popped off the band wheels, but I guess we'll find out, won't we? Hear that? Just got to be careful because that's still spinning. And would you look at that? Done. What are the odds of that, guys? 2 blades in one day. I'm sure there's been more. This blade is probably about the same age as the other blade. Couldn't even tell you how old that is, but obviously it got hot and it broke, or it got brittle and it broke. I don't think it's hot. It's pretty cold out. I've been feeling the blade as well. You guys haven't been seeing me, just to check for temperature. I'm not using any lubrication here, but these logs are pretty wet. So I don't think it's overheating. I think it's breaking because of age. So that's just about going to do it for me here today. Obviously I'm down 2 blades. That is not a big loss. As you guys saw, we had well, we had 8 teeth missing. It still cut just fine. Had some of the lines in it, and well, you can see that right there. If you don't like those lines, then obviously you would have changed that blade before I did there. But that's the reality. I guess you cut with 8 teeth missing, you're probably going to have issues from time to time. I just wanted to see if I could do it or not, and obviously I could. Well, looks like we got to sharpen some blades up. I got a big pile at the shop I've been putting off, so we're going to take care of that real soon. In the meantime, hopefully you guys at least recognize the fact that you can cut with 8 teeth missing. If nothing else, we made a little bit of wood. I made those boards there thinking that once this was done, I would then flip them on edge and cut the battens. That's going to have to wait for now unless I miraculously find a blade out here in the woods, but it's probably not happening. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it the old thumbs up. I've got tons of videos dealing with this sawmill, the overall construction of it, sawing all kinds of logs, getting them from the forest, getting them to this location. So be sure to check that out if you haven't done so already. And if you haven't done so, make sure you subscribe. It'd really help me, and I genuinely appreciate it. You guys all take care out there. Be well, and I'll see you next time. Oh yeah, before we go, I guess I better check to see if this broke at the weld or not. I know that's always something that I'm interested in. And we'll come down here just a little bit. And that did not break at the weld. I don't even know where the weld is on this one, but it's certainly not there. So anyways, that's it. See you later.